Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, remember to hit that subscribe button, also the notification bell. We're here today to do a big energy talk. This reading will not be for everybody. It really is for my star seeds, light workers, healers, psychics, anyone who is in that realm, because I've had a lot of, questions. A lot of big things have been happening, particularly this month because of the two super full moons. One was in Aquarius, which is about detachment, detaching your energy so that you can get in your pure essence and attach and remove all attachments and entity attachments. Followed up by the 8-8 Lion's Gate. It is an amazing vibrational cleansing and raising of the vibration to transform energy, vibration, and everyone. But what is not mentioned a lot in that is that it raises the frequency, brings more light, which exposes and clears out the dark, the blocked, the hidden. It's to raising a vibration closes out karmic cycles and contracts. Those karmic cycles and contracts we all have through our journey in life and our lessons and missions and growth and spiritual ascension. But there's also a big sort of battle going on between the dark and the light. And we are going to talk about dark and light spirituality. We are going to talk about spiritual warfare and what is going on in the current date and why everything is being exposed. A lot of this will come in, and this read will be about divine masculines, divine femmes, particularly those with a high spiritual purpose and journey who work for the divine. So that could entail, twin flame unions with that have higher divine purposes. I'm talking about the 5D, the higher up, not the 3D twinny connections. I've talked about that before, but we're not getting into that. It just basically higher divine unions and paths, particularly divine masculines and feminines. We have been under spiritual warfare, and I've had many people come in for healings, clearings, asking questions. People who do this work for a living, they're constantly under spiritual warfare and attack, particularly the last 2 to 3 years. Okay, because the universe tried to bring as many high divine masculine and feminines together, who then encountered great spiritual warfare. So let's clear a lot up in this reading, but this is actually about particular people. It could be you, it could be someone you're dealing with, it could be, you place it where it fits. It may not actually be exactly the narrative, but you will be experiencing some of it, or what we talk about energetically, at some level, because we are all at different spiritual levels. So the attacks can start from lower. Yes, I've experienced some spiritual warfare cycles that come in, you cannot work them out. They're like, it's when you come and have a healing and a clearing and there's something going on in my life. It's odd, it's not normal, what is happening energetically. So we're all at different levels. So the bigger the level, the bigger the devil. Okay, so just remember that. The higher the intuitive vibration. We've got we've got tarot readers, we've got psychics, we've got psychic mediums, we've got healers, we've got starseeds, we've got light code workers. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on, but you get what we're talking about here. But basically, this is the time in this energy. If you felt you've been in hermit energy, there are lots of spiritual ascensions going on right now. Ascension symptoms, with bodies. So your body, your health, your spiritual awakening, crown, chakras, all opening up. If this reading is not for you, please switch off. It is not going to be for everybody, particularly if you don't have a hand in the energy work that we're going to talk about. It is a time now that Spirit wants you to clean your energy. That's what the Aquarian full moon was about, the super full moon, bringing us in detachment, bringing us back into like hermit, shut out, getting in our own energy field, clearing and cleaning out everyone, entities, connections, karmic, to basically really purify your energy. Then we had the 8/8 line gate as well, bringing up and expose the vibration so high it exposes everything, closes out karmic contracts because it raises our vibration into the next step. That's why we hear a lot about with the dark and the light, and people who dabble in white spirituality and darker spirituality, because entities have missions, they have contracts, particularly to spiritual people or divine masculines and feminines. So therefore, there's certain times where that is over, the mission complete or failed. Okay, so that is what we're now experiencing as well, which is the people's lives just going into utter turmoil. If there's karma and what you've sent out intentionally, or it's all about your energy exchange and the intention behind it. So let's talk about dark and light spirituality. And you've heard me talk about this before. White spirituality, I'm just going to call it that because that's easier to separate it. White spirituality, or people in the light, actually, and sometimes they're called healers, sometimes they're called starseeds, star workers, energy workers, empaths, psychics, what else? Many things. White witches, whatever. They are people who actually utilize energy to heal, to clear, to raise a vibration. They use that energy, they can channel through that energy to, help clear, all right? And they work with nature and allowing things to cycle and grow and as nature intended, and they work with the laws of the universe. Therefore, they don't do anything outside that. And there's different levels, and there's lines we can cross, because dark spirituality is where people use energy, tap into an energy field, and we have very high gifted dark spiritual people and very high gifted light workers, and this is a constant battle and different spiritual laws. The darker side uses conjuring, rituals. It is to manipulate, it is to change or control or have order over someone's free will. That's why it generally has a lot of seduction and works through people with addictions, and you become very addicted to it. There's also a play where there's a hierarchy and you owe, and there's always a payback. The light, there isn't a payback. There are laws that you cannot break, but there's no payback. The light comes in and works and loves, works with you unconditionally, as long as you fall within the spiritual laws and realms and you take orders through the higher up and be obedient. It's obedience, and they only clear, raise and heal. They don't need to do any of the other stuff. The other stuff is control, manipulation, and to gain power. It's a power trip. The light is not a power trip, okay? So let's just keep that in mind when we talk about what we're going to talk about. The dark is very good at coming in through people who have a lower vibration, or to lower your vibration, because you are easily to attach to. So that's what we talk about toxicity, addictions. We can have any sort of addictions. You can be addicted to spell work. You can be addicted to pills, sex, alcohol, partying, anything. It doesn't have to be those things, but basically it's in your lower, and that's why we call it a frequency. That's why we call it karmic. And there is a lesson in it, and that's why you become a karmic, or we call them karmic, because you learn a lesson in it and there's an attachment and a payback. There will always be a payback. Now, don't get that mixed up with learning a lesson. We are all here to learn lessons, and we are all here to grow. But in the light work, we learn lessons through trial and error, wisdom, mastery. But it's more of an obedient, and it's not used to create an outcome. It's used to clear, purify, and raise, which is heal. Okay, so that's the difference. And you can use it for protection, protection and clearing. So the other side is these people who they get away with it in the 3D, but they certainly don't get away with it in the 5D, hence why we have these major energy full moons, super full moons, 8/8 lines gate, portals, solar flare opening up. There are all of these. There is an actual dark calendar that someone told me existed that I didn't even know, with dates and times of things to do things to access and certain portals, time. Yeah, anyway, it's crazy. It's really crazy. And we do talk about it a lot now because there's a lot more out there, because we have a lot more charlatans, or we have a lot of people getting power through doing rituals and spells. It's short-lived, it doesn't last, it has huge consequences, and it does come back on you at one day or at some stage. So don't ever think, but they do, sorry, it's a big glass, they do actually feel quite powerful, and we get into obsession and that addictive energy and possession. Okay, it's a lot about possession and control and emotional manipulation and all of that. They usually tend to need groups as well. I'm not saying there's lots of light worker groups that do not mix up what I'm saying, but they're in that clearing, raising the vibration. These groups are here to conjure in, call in, and awaken spirits to come in and serve them or serve a purpose. The light side calls in spirit guides like archangels who work through the divine light and only work through the divine light. All right, so basically I think we've got that. But basically what's happened now is, what is happening is a lot of divine contracts are being exposed, closed, they're over. A lot of people that were sent in to break up divine counterparts, contracts, take out divine people, actually take them out, actually take over their destiny, their soul, their relationships, whatever, their life. That's why we, mimicking, catfishing, they do spells to get people. So, love spells, marriage spells, binding spells, confusion spells, any money spells. All of this type of thing is a low vibration. And we're talking about the actions have now caught up with them, because a lot of them have failed their mission, and so they may be suffering sickness, lack of finances, they could be losing everything. And a lot of them are experiencing absolute mental breakdown, like psychosis. They're running around now doing more and more and more, because now the repercussions are coming back, the consequences of this work. Pulling people out of alignment and out of, soul contracts and stopping people from growing, which is their free will. Dark energy work you don't have free will. In the light, you have free will. Okay, so that's another thing where you're trying to really control the divine order, and there's the battle, the spiritual warfare that comes in. So basically, these are people who, or this person in particular that Spirit showed me, It's to do with relationships, divine counterparts, and basically there is different levels of this where you may have experienced a cycle. Let's say, I want to use an example before I get into the channeling. An example of a lot of people have been coming saying, you know, this is my divine counterpart, you know, there was interference, we hear it karmic's coming in, all of the above. Karmic interference, karmic lessons, all of the rest of it. So basically we have an energy here, masculine or feminine, that was very possessed, obsessed. Jezebel spirits are about control. Jezebel, and that's why they use a lot of seduction. So these Jezebel spirits, we actually have a karmic couple, and I don't know, masculine, feminine, you work it out. It could be a group, it could be a couple, it could be a friend, it could be anything. But basically they've released, they've held illusions over people, places and situations, and that's now all coming undone and being exposed. All the dark magic is being exposed, all the trickster, the lies, the deceit, deception. And both sides need to know this, because Spirit said it's time to tell the truth. I'm even hesitant bringing it out. You have to expose the truth now, Spirit said. It's now the time so people can understand it, to ascend and to close these things out. Entities are sent through people. This is why my divine ones, this is why my divine healers, workers, especially light workers, entities are sent through people, places, and situations to come at you, particularly divine counterparts. So if you were in a relationship and it was all going well and it was, you know, a higher divine connection, you and this person were connected on so many levels and all the rest of it. So we'll call them high divine unions. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's a tower. All of a sudden there's attack. Or all of a sudden there's exes. All of a sudden there's karmics. All of a sudden there's family interference. All of a sudden there's chaos. But this chaos comes out of nowhere. Also, if you are with a divine energy or a light worker, depending on the level here, guys, we have so many different levels. And this is the important part. Those entities will work through a partner or a friend or a family member to destroy, to block, to take you off path. Okay? And this is the awareness and the discernment that you now need before you ascend. So everything you learned in this, you know, spiritual warfare, spiritual attack on divine masculine, feminines, all of the above, you are protected. But and the stuff is backfired, or it's sort of held and it builds and then it's fired back in one big ball, depending on how much people do to you. But this is for my light workers who have been attacked, had their divine counterparts taken away from them, had interference, and basically tried to destroy higher divine contracts. These karmics are sent in. Most of them already have lower vibration entities attached to them. So basically, you know, addictions and just you know, we can be dabbling in things we do not know the depths of. Some of them have been dabbling in spell work, let's call it, energy work, dark energy work, where entities took them over, made them obsessed, possessed, a bit crazy, you know, got into power and all of the above, only to, I'm getting interference, so I'm just calling in my guides for protection because I can feel it all coming in to throw me off. Basically, these people do work, spell work, to get a partner, to get pregnant. They use foods, they use mental, emotional, physical, spiritual manipulation. But we're actually talking about people who tend to do actual, pregnancy spells, binding spells, even to get pregnant or bring a child in to bind them. And they're all through these entities, okay? And so they generally attack light workers, and most of us have experience, that dark karmic relationship or person that we should never have probably went there, that type of thing. And as for the food, people sort of go, oh, whatever, but I actually read for a guy, or have done many healings for a guy who is from another country. I'm not going to tell you where, but this country does a lot of black magic, voodoo, all of that type of, all those other really bad ones. And he has come to me over many, many years to have clearings and healings. And one time he came to me, and he came back from over there visiting, and it's all over there. Everyone does it over there. Families fighting, that's basically their warfare. Their street fighting is voodoo, It's pretty hectic. So basically he visited, came back 6 months later. He was so sick. He got sicker and sicker, losing money, losing business. His whole body changed. Everything changed for him. And he came and he said, oh, there's something not right. Like I'm really not well. He had some really weird out of body experiences, spiritual attacks, things happening in the home, all of the above. So basically we did this thing and this clearing, and I picked up that I said, they keep saying it's in the food or the drink or whatever. And he clicked. He didn't click at the time, but he had gone to like a family member's place, and they all had like this tea or this ritual or something. And everybody had the tea, and this particular person said, no, I've made this special pot for you. Oh, that sun's coming through. This is only for you. And he only clicked as we cleared him. That came to his mind. At the time, he thought, oh, thank you. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, she's made me a special thing. Turns out it wasn't so special. They were into that sort of stuff, and he found out they had an issue with him, his family, money, whatever. I don't know what it was. It was some issue. And from then forward, he got very, very, very sick, and he started to find out there was lots of conflict with him and them, and all sorts of things went on. Okay. So basically it is true, and as we cleared all this, but at the time because this is what spell work does, this is where I'm leading. Spirit wants me to explain spell work. Now what spell work does is energy manipulation. It is something where it's like when you're drunk. And when you're drunk and you think you look better than you do, the person you met looked better than they did. It's like a haze. You can't really see it. It is like a veil that comes over you. And there's where the confusion comes in, okay? They use bodily fluids, so, just a kiss, intimacy, sex. And that's why a lot of dark entity is very seductive, or people with dark entity attachments. Sex addiction, sex, lust, passion, it's all that sort of thing, because they like the exchange of those bodily fluids and getting into the root chakra. Also, when you ingest and drink, it goes into the body, it's in the cells. Then it takes over the nervous system and the thinking. Now, yep, that sounds hectic, but you should see when you have had someone who has actually, when the veil lifts, they see everything differently. It's like being in a haze. It's like being drunk. It's like being with someone and you just think they're wonderful, and you're believing everything they say and all of the above. And then one day when it clears or something lifts, because these spells don't work for long either, and they have to do them again and again and again, hence the build up of the karma, okay, and the backfire that eventually comes, because what happens is it lifts, and all of a sudden you look at that person and you're like, how am I even with this person? You just see them in a whole different light, and it might be just one day the way they talk, act. There's always lots of conflict, fighting, battle of power, on, off, energy. It's quite tumultuous, and the energy that they think, because it's all in the adrenaline and the passion and the confusion in your head. So that's why mind games, mental manipulation, gaslighting, all of that type of stuff comes under that. But basically, why people they cannot see it. Oh, that sun's getting bad. They cannot see it. They cannot see at the time. It's like they've got rose-colored glasses on. Okay, they do come out of it one day, but they can only do that from separation. So hence, getting in your own energy. The detachment of this full moon in Aquarius put us in a detachment, a clarity, and it started to raise and change your vibration so that thing, those things or whatever, spells, whatever, cannot attach. The minute and you should isolate. That's why it's a good time to cleanse and abstain from any energy exchange at this time, or when you are in something and it's a cycle and it's over and over and you can't get out of it, or things are getting worse and worse and worse. Abstain from any energy exchange. This is how you'll get rid of a Jezebel spirit. Don't let them or anything come into your energy. Okay? So basically, that's how they reconnect. They need bodily fluids, or they need connection, touch, touching you, that type of thing. That's why a lot of light workers don't like exchange of energy. There's always distance, there's always cleansing of energy, because you form a tie. That's what we call like a soul tie, an energy tie, and they bind it and they bind it and they bind it and they bind it, and then you're hooked. Okay, so they tend to lower your vibration through arguing, fight, exhaustion, lower your frequency, drugs, alcohol, addictions, play on your addictions, trauma bonding. Trauma bonding is a big one that will connect you to lower entities, and these Jezebel spirits that's how they get you. They get you to trauma bond with someone. Then we have codependence, neediness, all play on your ego, play on all your egos. We could go on and on and on, but basically you get my drift here. So basically this is about a divine counterpart that was separated, but it was separated, or it could be happening over and over and over and over to you, or it could be something else. It could be another cycle happening over and over and over. But basically, a Jezebel spirit came in, and the divine masculine and feminine, we'll just use that, reverse the roles, came in, and actually at the right time. I did get, it could be around someone's birthday time, a Christmas time, or could be like a moon or an alignment, okay? They knew about this, and they knew if they get this person or could, seduce them or connect with them again, or get back into their energy, that would be it. They could then stop them from moving forward on a divine path, partnership, or divine connection. Okay, no matter what that divine connection was. So this is what did happen, and this masculine feminine, whichever way it is, one was of the light, one was of the dark, but basically they were both in on it, having, in that lower frequency, trauma bonding, whatever it was, addiction bonding, trauma bonding. So that's how they got this person trapped. And for some of you, not all this doesn't apply, but if it does apply, that person even maybe have had a child, children, family, pregnancy with that person by doing actual ritual bonding spell work. So they were even conceived under entities and, conjuring. Okay? So not like a natural cycle. Oh my God, that light's going to come through. So basically, what was I leading to there? So basically this karmic couple, this is what happened. This divine masculine or feminine caught up with a karmic or a Jezebel spirit, and I don't think it was, so they left a divine partner, path, or purpose. Now, the reason they did this was seduction, Jezebel, and there were many, many other interferences as well for this union not to come together. Everyone knew that this divine masculine or feminine was going to go off on this path. They were in love with their divine partner, purpose, connection, whatever, love of whatever. A love meaning alignment, heart connection, love, all of the above. Love can be feeling so in alignment, feeling at home, belonging, finding your other half, you know. So basically this karmic knew this, and this was all orchestrated. This person had even paid people to attack not only their divine masculine or feminine, but also the divine femme or masculine that they were going to. So there was so much interference here that the divine masculine and femme, that the karmic now become a karmic couple. Even if they were in the light or of the light or in the higher vibration, once you connect and bind with the lower frequency, you then become a karmic energy. So the answer to that is yes, your divine masculine and feminine can turn karmic if they connect to a lower frequency or vibration or get into that dark energy work, or people, places, situations that do that. Okay, so it's usually a manipulation of their energy. So that's how that works. Also, what happened is they usually start to get confused, juggle, don't know who's who, which one's the divine femme masculine. You know, it all becomes very confusing because of the spell work. And these people then, because of the spell work, start to work on other people around them, family members, friends, etc., etc. Okay, but what happened was these karmics don't understand to the depths or levels to which they are doing this to. So they did this to a divine femme or masculine that is very, very high vibration. Very, very fated, destined, protected by the divine. Probably doesn't even want to be, but they are. So they've probably done it, they've done it before, it's worked, it works. Okay, for them temporarily to get what they want, or bind or entrap something or someone or whatever. It always falls through, and that's why we have the conflict and chaos. But this time they didn't realize that Spirit said they were out of their depth with what they were conjuring and calling in, because they had to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, because they knew their person was in love with someone else or wanted to go on another path. So this is to keep them. They kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And how they do that is possibly, most likely, sleeping with them, or getting, you know, many other people in on it, or actually there's many ways you can manipulate someone's free will, okay, emotionally, mentally, physical, spiritually. So basically that's how this started to all go, and Spirit jumped in. Spirit saw this person juggling, confused, going from a lower vibration to a higher vibration person. So basically Spirit jumped in and brought a tower. So if you were going well with your divine purpose partner or divine masculine femme, and it was all wonderful, but the attacks started. Because the masculine or femme, whoever it was jumping from one to one, lower, high vibration, Spirit will jump in and protect a light worker, a healer, or a divine femme, because they're over here getting attachments and dark entities. So they'll split it, they'll separate it, they'll bring a tower. So you will get an overwhelming feeling of panic, anxiety, detachment, ending it, run. Like the divine gives you a download, and you might be even cutting it and facing it, or catching them out, or whatever. You know something's up, and it comes over you. This person was juggling, you know, they were lying, they were confused, because they were jumping from light to dark energy, getting attachment. So you were protected, you were pushed away, you were hidden. Spirit sends them back in to learn that karmic lesson, because generally people of the light do get pulled into this at some stage of their life. We've all experienced it. I've had a very, very bad experience with one, we've all had that very bad experience with a person, with a relationship. And learnt that lesson, and you do, because you need to discern these energies and the energies you're taking on or giving or exchanging, particularly with light workers, particularly with starseeds, particularly with healers. The divine will protect them. They will remove someone. That's why you've got to have honesty and loyalty and truth and integrity and all these things. It's not just because, oh, I'm a divine masked femme. It's all about an entity attack. It's protection from the divine. And a lot of these entities are coming from past lives. They're being called back in, conjured back in. And if you're a high vibrational light worker, you are going to get attacks anyway. From many dimensions, levels. So we get you to call back all time, space, all your energy, all your essence, any energy, essence, DNA. Call it back through the creator, through the light, washed, cleansed, cleared, completely healed from all time, space, realities, dimensions, people, places, situations, known, unknown, wake, asleep, go through it and cleanse and call back and purify your energy and separate and detach and hermit yourself and detach yourself from all people and energies, and don't exchange energy with people. That's why a lot of people at the moment, particularly the healers, light workers, and they're alone, they're being put in isolation. You are put in isolation spiritually for a reason. Anyway, this person jumping, went back to or connected with this karmic couple. The problem here is the spell work gave illusion and delusion to this person. They thought they shared information about their divine counterpart. They started to actually attack this divine counterpart because with the karmic, which creates even more mess, more issues with the spirit world. They got away with it in 3D, but they certainly won't get away with it in the 5D, particularly when we have all these activations. But an entity actually took over this divine masculine's body, and the karmic actually conjured it up to be in the divine masculine, to be binded to them. So if you were with this counterpart, or these attacks come out of nowhere. They are unexplainable. 1 minute you're good, the next minute there's a tower. The next minute they're ripped out of your life and all hell breaks loose, okay? So they're not doing well, is what I'm hearing, because now they know the mission is failed. So whatever these entities working through these karmics or whatever, now what they did to these divine higher orders are now failed missions. So the spell work backfires. For a lot of people in that, they do have to completely, some will be isolated, jailed, in prison, mental issues, poverty issues. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Everybody's different. Losing jobs, sick, unwell, life falling apart. These won't last. These karmic connections that do this dark work, they will not last in the end. And really, if you're on the lighter side and got pulled into that, or we've all had that experience at some point, knowingly or unknowingly, you have to learn it, because your next level of ascension, you have to learn to discern these, because the next level there's a bigger devil. The next level there's a bigger devil. The next level there's a bigger devil. There's more temptation. And to become divine or in divine, your higher divine self, not I'm divine. This is about your spiritual ascension on earth, for your soul and your heart vibration to raise and clear past karma this lifetime. It's your soul's own personal journey and the evolution of that. And if you have gifts and talents, you are going to be attacked more and more and more. That's why I define masculines and feminines are told to protect. You cannot live a 3D karmic life in and out of a divine spiritual, you're outside your divine, Spirit said, outside your divine spiritual purpose. Particularly if you are an energy person, even if you don't work in it. If you're an energy person, if you're an empath, you know, because you're called, you would have an interest in it. You would have gifts, you would have talents, you would want to heal people. I don't care what level you're at. I don't care if you've just started or you're way up there in your ascension process. And that's a lot of learning. That's a lot of mastery. That's a lot of attacks, a lot of warfare, a lot of struggle over a lifetime. You don't just step into that. You don't. It's bestowed to you. Whereas the dark conjure, what's not theirs, what's what they're, and they're getting entities that they do not know how to handle from wherever. And then they'll attach to someone, and then they bring that through you. Want to attach that to they'll attack a light worker. Absolutely. Take them down. So, there is a passed over loved one, and this was in a reading that I did a while ago. Excuse me, guys. Oh, God, this is a huge cup. That came through that really was distressed and really was concerned, like enough is enough. That's all I remember hearing, enough is enough. I've even now got the spirit guides, the higher guides coming through going, enough of this dark magic, because some of these people went paid people to do things, death spells, block you, bind you, all of the above. And if you were in a couple or a karmic couple was doing that to a divine counterpart or whatever the situation, I mean, that's even worse, because you're doing it to your own divine plan. So whatever you were tricked into doing to this divine femme or masculine with all your attacks, you actually attacked yourself. You were attacking your own divine plan. But this karmic, powerful karmic that does the dark magic manipulation had no idea. They've actually got no idea what they've done. And I don't believe one of them doesn't understand. Well, they do now. Spirit said they do now. They're going to be awakened, or they have been awakened, and they're starting to realize why everything's not working, why everything's falling apart. Why is that divine masc or femme over there abundant and prosperous and going well and not unalive? Because your partner, they've realized they're laying down with the devil. And I don't think they realized how much that person was doing it. Sending evil eyes, sending energy, doing energy work, doing spell work, even behind their back. I think they were aware of it, but they played it down. And that's even worse. You can't go into ignorance and cowardness when that stuff's going on. Whether you're into it or not, this is out of control. And this person needs to call back their energy, because you are energy. You are multidimensional. Your energy is multidimensional. So if you're going to do energy work in the light, you're multidimensional. You need the protection. If you're doing these conjuring spells and you are actually conjuring and calling in, your energy is multidimensional. They're multidimensional, and you are not that powerful that you're seeing every dimension where they're coming from. Hallucinogenics, they're great. They have serve a certain purpose, but pills, out of body, like drinking, drugs, alcohol, partying, sex, seduction, or whatever, all that stuff. You're out of body. You're going into portals, you're going into realms you know nothing about. You're bringing through entities and attachments that you know nothing about, and you certainly don't have the spiritual capacity to even deal with those things, because you wouldn't need to do the spell if you did. So you've done nothing but manipulation. Some of you, please, if it doesn't apply, some of you have actually attacked a divine, they're more masculine, with your dark spell work. And it won't hit the divine femmes. They're protected and masculines. It won't hit them. They're protected. It'll hit them for a bit and then it'll ricochet back, or it ricochets onto someone else. So you've fired it at them, and now you've hit an innocent person, and that karma's even worse. So if you fired anything, for you cross watchers, dark conjurers that watch, and this is why I've been hesitant up until now to reveal a lot of, I stopped doing, you would have noticed I stopped doing spiritual talks and spiritual ascensions on my, because Spirit said to shut it down, because the wrong people were getting the information. Spirit tells us everything. You might think we sit here all innocent, but we get told, don't talk about that. You need to stop talking about that. They're utilizing it, they're twisting it, they're using it for wrong. So this is why I have to say, Spirit said, no, this has got to be cleared up. There's got to be an understanding. There's got to be an awareness. There's got to be an awakening now, because that awakening is because we're about to go into another transcendence. And if Spirit is going to transcend you or bestow you another gift or take a gift, whichever way it's going to go. But basically, if you're going up, you have to now have mastered the discernment of entity attachment, dark and spiritual light work, energy work, which is manipulation or non-manipulation, whichever side of the thing you fall. And this is something that people need to know. Sometimes they're not even knowing they're doing it. And they're wondering why they're not ascending, or their gifts aren't getting better, or they're still working and they've hit a level. And you've got a lesson to learn. Spirit's saying you don't understand something. We're not letting you through. We're not unblocking it. Yeah. So what else do I have to say here? So basically what Spirit just said, what we're trying to say is these entities, that they possess the body. And once they possess the body through intimacy, sex, body fluids, eat, food, drink, spell work, I don't know, however they do it. Once they do get in there, then this possession takes over. So they will get very addicted to what they're doing, or the person, okay? Now, why this has all happened is because you had to learn the experience, whichever side you fell on. You had to learn the experience. You had to protect yourself. You had to, and you were the only one that could clear this. You had to go through it to clear it. Some of you are past lives, Spirit said. They brought this through. This is a repeat. This person had to challenge this and probably couldn't or wouldn't or didn't. And the other side, you had to learn this before you go another level again. Okay? So that's why divine counterparts and contracts, some of them will be getting back on track, back in realignment, and that will be just determined by Spirit, to which the level you understood, and whatever you go through now with your abstaining, cleansing, energy coming within your divine essence of you. And if you can, because some of you here, this energy work has gone on attack after full moon, after full moon, after full moon, after full, and they've built it up so much that it's just got, they've got so many dark attachments now. So you have to be really discerning at this moment, everybody. So if you are in hermetizing, if that's even a word, Spirit is protecting you and trying to clear your energy so you can see through the fog, so you can see what's really happening, and that's the only way you can do it, okay? For some of you, you were just with a really, really dark spirited person, But Spirit said you knew that. You knew that. Some of you got an out and didn't take it and turned on your divine counterpart, which is just devastating because, you know, the love's still there, the confusion, they're with someone else, they're attacking them, so they're attacking their own divine inheritance of whatever that divine purpose, path, prosperity, abundant gifts, talents. And that's why you hear us say you can't attack, oh my God, an empress. You can't attack a divine masculine or feminine. You Empress is fate. Fated wheel of change. Look, Hermit, I can't make it up. There's our clarification. All the divine, higher divine energy workers or light workers or whoever, and I know that sounds bad, like saying higher divine than everyone else, but basically you're obedient to Spirit. You did the work. You've been through this. You understood. You saw it. You saw through it. You tried to help people out of it. You tried to give them an out. You tried to grow, heal them, offer them, you know, help share your abundance, your gifts, your talents with them. That's what we mean by higher divine, masculine or feminine. Fated, the wheels of fate. That's the gods. Like Hermit, you know, you have to go inward now, or you've been taken inward, or Spirit's protected you from this person. We've got a King of Wands here. He's very clear. I cannot make it up. I just said, seeing through the fog. Someone needed to learn or understand this. And they're in a mess, overwhelming emotion. So you're getting in heart alignment, but also clearing the energy field. You can't do that unless you get in the correct energy field, your energy field. The correct energy field is your energy field. It's not codependence, need, ego. I need to take a breath. Star card. Everything's going to be illuminated. This is about the stars aligning. This is like the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. This is about, you know, the Pisces full moon that's about to happen. It is about being super, like it's in intuition, it's psychicness, it's the multi-dimensional realms. That's why Pisces can be a little ungrounded sometimes, or over controlling, because they can go off into the universe. So where Aquarian energy is the same, but it'll detach. Okay, it goes into detachment. So we've had the detachment. Now the Pisces is super multidimensional. Think of it like that. So they have to be very controlled, very orderly to keep control of their reality. But basically it's tapping into those higher dimensional realms here. I cannot make it up. The High Priestess, the secrets, the hidden, the higher up, the contracts, the higher contracts, the wisdom of the high divine. It's all being seen. It's all being illuminated. Everything will be put into alignment. Whether that is, you know, and that's all decided by the higher up. That's not decided by you, me, anybody. The higher up is overseeing all of this now. Where you learnt, where you grew, did you do it, what you did, what you didn't do, what you tried to heal, whatever. We've got a King and Queen of Wands here, who actually, this is spiritual warfare right here. So two people that were a match or on a divine path, they both, they were under spiritual attack. And there was heartbreak. Look at that. Separation, betrayal. Oh, I can't make it up. So there's our clarification for the reading. And they're the cards that came out. We talked about a karmic couple, person who got in the way of a divine connection, separated them, caused conflict and karmic warfare and blocked them from moving forward and worked against them so that they couldn't be together. And they're not together. They're in separation. but something's missing. And this is the problem. See, this is where the illusion and the delusion, this is where the moon card breaks spell work, veils, manipulation. This is where it all comes. It's been foggy because now we've got the Queen of Cups here. So she's generous, spiritual, loving, caring, nurturing. And that's the cup that's missing in this Two of Cups union. So basically a Two of Cups union, higher purpose, partnership, love, divine purpose, higher divine purpose, connection, was interfered with by spiritual warfare, to betrayal, to hurt, to destroy, and they did. And they went on another path, and that path was full of illusion, the moon card. Deceit, deception, illusion from the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Emperor and the Queen of Cups. The Emperor was with the Queen of Swords, went to the Queen of Swords. That's why nothing moved forward. But they thought it was really abundant, but nothing moved forward. Yeah, and they're in great despair now. Reverse the roles. Great mental, emotional, physical, spiritual shutdown. And they've also realised that they, to move forward, this is what they have to face. This is what they did. This is what they allowed. This is what they believed. Now we're not here to judge or condemn, but we're here to bring awareness that if you are in this, or you did this, or you're experiencing this, get in connection with the divine. Get in the light. Call back your essence. Do the work. Abstain. Cleanse. Get your purified energy back. Do your penance or talking or forgiving or healing with the divine. Yeah, the contracts. Your contracts with the divine now. And we've got Emperor here and Empress and the Queen of Cups, and he's seeing it now. He's seeing what's real and loving and caring and nurturing now. And it's not where they were, very fast out of nowhere. Yeah, it's not where they, okay, let's see if it's where they were. Their current situation, or the one they were in, or the one they went to, or the one where all the lessons were, is, yeah, Ten of Swords. Look, they thought they had a Ten of Pentacles. They've got a Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, nothing but conflict, people, places, situations working against them. And they are, look, and the Two of Cups and the Temperance. Temperance is the temperance angel. It's the balance of karma, cause and laws of cause and effects, about the evolution of natural cycles of growth into the future. And yeah, this person betrayed their Ten of Pentacles. They also went to a Ten of Pentacles and learned major lessons here and got nothing but conflict. And that conflict, and they closed out their Ten of Pentacles with this over here. So I'll put that all there. So the person they went to, it looks like a lot of lessons, a lot of burdens, a lot of fighting, arguing, a lot didn't work. Yeah, the King of Cups did. He's the King of Cups over here and the King of Wands. What have we got here? King of Cups, King of Wands. Yeah. He left behind his Queen of Wands, who's here, who's a Queen of Pentacles, stable, secure, hardworking, self-sufficient, providing, loving, nurturing, like a mother figure, like a Queen of Wands, who's a high priestess, and they put them out in the cold. And this Emperor was a player, was juggling. Star card, wish fulfillment, judgment, collaborated with deceit, deception, trickery, someone that pulled the wool over their eyes. Or they were doing that, and that's what they were sent to. Now we've got a redirection and a rethink. There's the clarity. See, healing, a new path, standing up and defending, knowing what to stand up and who to stand up and what to defend. mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. This person's holding the world in their hands. They're rethinking it and they're rethinking their direction. They're healing and they want to move forward. They had to learn who to keep out, who to stand up, right? The Lovers, choice. They blocked an Empress got blocked because of the Devil. And here's the Empress right here. The Empress was fated. They got blocked by, the Empress got blocked by the Devil, whatever that was. It's an entity that came in and blocked this Empress out, or attacked, or they conjured, or they chose, or I don't know. You place it where it fits, but that's what happened. We see it right here. Here's the evidence. They also went to an Empress, possibly, meaning it could be had a child, family, committed to someone, because we have an Emperor and an Empress here, committed. Yep, committed. And they did the Devil work, the karmic work, lower vibrational. All right, so the one they went to, what is the outcome, Spirit? What is the outcome there? I just heard it's been a disaster. We've got the Chariot and reevaluating long term, the work they put in deceit, deception. So they're moving forward. They can't stop what's happening. They've had to reevaluate and look at everything they did, and there's the deceit, deception, trickery card. So that's the one they were with or went to. The Page, nothing. Yeah, they ended up in the Nine of Swords because possibly could have been High Priestess here, Nine of Swords, the player. They were dabbling in magic. They were dabbling in the dark, creating Ten of Swords. To block this person going forward. They did magic. That's what's being illuminated. The Devil's being illuminated. The path, so it's clear. And you can put your past behind you. Eight of Swords, out of nowhere. See? Re-evaluation of direction. A redirection. You are in healing, past life issues, or can be love, romance, but it can be family. It's basically a past life issue that you needed to get victory over this lifetime. And now this King of Cups, who is ready to take a step forward, and that could be hold themselves accountable, do their work, cleanse or abstain, get in realignment, take those steps, that first step, because Page is about just the first step or the first awakening to it. See the Death card on where you were blind. There is an ending here. There is an ending because judgment's been called. Judgment has been called by the higher up. We have the Sun card illuminating everything and success over the moon. Everything was hidden. Everything that was done in the dark. Illumination and judgment. Burden released from this Emperor, or this Emperor had to learn this, because these are the things that an Emperor and Empress go through in life to learn. Yes, they're in regret. Yes, they want a new start. Yes, they want to balance the karma, get back in balance. But again, we've got resistance from this Queen of Swords that they went to. Yeah, because they probably have them held now. Through a marriage, commitment, family, business, money, and see the Nine of Cups with the fantasy card, the up in the air. So this could be, they might lose everything. They might have to start from scratch. That could be why they're the Page. They would have to start from scratch. They feel they might lose everything. But there's an ending here to this. See, standing up, fated, change, standing up for yourself again, defending yourself. We've got the fated wheel of change, the Lovers, choices, the Ten of Pentacles, back to the Two of Cups that you put out in the cold. The spiritual journey you were supposed to go on, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups. We've got the fated wheel of change. We've got the Tower, and absolute heartbreak and despair to the Ten of Cups. Well, guess what? There's only one thing that can happen now when temperance and all these things are exposed. That's how justice comes. Collaboration of justice. So all the things. And they're being reviewed too here now. It's getting so dark in here, guys. There you go. It's being reviewed. Everywhere it was juggled, imbalanced, messed with. This Empress, an Empress or Empress energy, male or female, you are moving forward, you are getting celebration, where you are going on the new path. Everything is looking good for you. You're getting the security, stability, the world card. Everything's looking good for you. You just keep going and you will get a divine counterpart, whether it's this one, another one, you will be given, and I don't know what will happen because everyone's story is different. See, an apology, the higher self, stability, fulfillment. And it was decisions. They lost that through decisions. Distance, moon card, magic, cold, shut out, alchemy on a twin flame. I'm going to have to wrap it up because I haven't got any more light. They're just asking you to remember. They're asking you to get back to the light. They're asking you to connect to the light. They're saying cleanse and your energy, abstain from all energies, have some time out. The only way to get rid of dark entities, attachments, Jezebel spirits is don't connect with the people in the lower vibrational realm. Get your own energy back so that you know your energy and can discern when you're getting interfered with, or when, because your energy can get so mixed with someone, it feels normal. It becomes normal. And it's not until you have a break or time away from that person, you realize how it wasn't normal. And I cannot make this up. I'm going to wrap it up. Pluto, letting go, control, domination, and shadow work. I mean, do your shadow work now. Separation. And you'll get renewal, you'll get clear, you'll get freedom. The world card is a reset. You have to deal with the guilt of the love offer and the spirit guides. It was a lesson. It's just a lesson. And balance, yin and yang then, and growth. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because it's getting really dark and I didn't turn any lights or bring any more lights. I hope that just answered some questions as we go through these awakenings. And I hope it also brought some understanding to those of you who are in higher divine, or were, or in higher divine contracts, or experienced what you go through in a higher divine contract. Because we all experience it. Like, there's so many people who have been through the same stuff. So, you know, turmoil right now is sort of to awaken you or to end or close or whatever. Hold yourself accountable. Face your truth is the quickest way to get in alignment, you know. It's big, and that's the reason I wanted to bring this out, because well, I didn't want to. I was hesitant. Spirit sort of said, no, we have to click. People have to understand. So I hope I have explained it okay. I'll even have to listen to this myself because I get so many things coming in. I hope it all flowed. So yeah, take care. And the energies are shifting, but this full moon is going to be a doozy. And I suggest the only moon work you do is closing out things that no longer serve you, clearing and cleansing your energy, and utilizing that beautiful high vibration of the moon to take your multi-dimensional energy. Oh my God, can that spring clean your body, your soul, your energy? But only do it for you. Okay, nobody else. Just do it for you. Get your purity of your essence back. That is the quickest way to get in alignment and get in alignment with your higher spiritual contracts. Now, also do your clearing rituals. I've heard one the other day, which is great, and I've got a bit of one myself. I'll put it in the full moon reading that I hope to get done tomorrow, hopefully. All right, so and clearing and calling back your energy and your essence, and we'll put something in there so that you can use that. Okay, take care. Thank you very much. Hit that like button. I've got a big new table, so I have to lean across even further. Yeah, take care and happy new moon ascension, full moon ascension.